What up, bruh? We finna get right into it because there's been some wild shit that's been going down almost for the past week. But I know you're not too hype about it. We got Dame Lillard. See, I'm shaking my head in a good way, but I feel like you'll be shaking your head in a bad way.
I'm shake. You know what? I'm on the fence with it because the scoring um, definitely needed. Another proven go-to guy in the clutch where Giannis doesn't have to do everything by himself. But defensively, we are going to miss Drew. Plus, is Dame going to want to stay?
Yeah, I mean, we got him for 2 years at minimum. I
Right.
think if we if we get one title within 2 years, I think that would at least mean that we probably can attract other players if he chooses to leave. But I don't. This is on some Portland type environment. I think that he'll feel at home. I think in Milwaukee. But as far as the defense, I do think defense is contagious. I remember Ray Allen wasn't the best defender in the world, but when he got to Boston, he was a decent defender. I'm not saying he was all first team, all defensive, but it can be contagious, especially if Giannis demanding it. But
And we
my
got Brooks,
question,
so
yeah, we'll have help.
we can
He'll
protect the
have help.
rim. Yeah, we can protect the rim, but that perimeter is going to be a problem.
Yeah, but being honest, when you think about like the top five point guards, when they play each other, are they really locking each other down, or are they both having 30? I don't know if it's, but Drew was special because Drew was a two, he was both sides, a two way player. So we
Yeah.
definitely gonna miss that. But only issue I had with Drew was when Middleton wasn't playing, he couldn't play that Robin role like I really
Yeah.
would want him to. He struggled, and then even when Giannis went out, I don't know if he can elevate offensively like we needed him to. But now I think with Middleton at the three, with him playing Alfred,
Yeah.
man,
It's going to be
that can be
crazy.
right. And I totally forgot about Phoenix. I forgot about that trade. It seemed to have happened so long ago that I completely forgot about it till I was watching some other show talking about it. And I'm like, man, I forgot about how deep. Well, they ain't deep. How good they starting five is because they're not deep. That's going to be a problem for them. I'm sure down the road.
Well, we just helped them get deep.
Yeah, with Aiton to get rid of Aiton and
Now they
yeah, because they
actually
got
have a bench
yeah,
with
that's right,
Grayson Allen. You know, um, I
that's
think we're
right.
going to miss Grayson Allen too. That's going to be a lost player in all this. We're going to miss Grayson Allen.
Eh, eh, maybe we definitely ain't gonna miss his inconsistencies offensively, but he was a tough player.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see. I think Bobby gonna have to step it up. I don't know who they have starting. In some of them,
So
I seen Connington, and then some I seen Bobby.
what I think the best starting five should be would be Dame, Middleton, Crowder, Giannis, Lopez.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad because I like what's the name coming off the bench. Um, I don't know why dude's name
Connington or
just
Portis.
no uh Bobby Portis. I don't know why that just
Portis,
clicked.
yeah.
Yeah, I like him coming off the I like him coming off the
Because they're going to
bench.
need a spark off the bench.
Right.
And he could be that with Connington. Hopefully, Beauchamp has developed. This will be going into his
Yeah,
third year.
yeah. I expect a lot from him this year. Not a lot, but I expect more than what he did last year.
Well, you putting up 70 points in the summer leagues. You better do something.
Right. That was wild that he did that. That is a good sign of what he can
Right.
do offensively. But I mean, it's really for them for Milwaukee too. It's going to be title or nothing. I think this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's going to all boil down to Middleton's health.
yeah, yeah.
That's,
With him too is I like his role being less though because
yeah.
I mean we just need 15 from him. 15 to 20 at the most. I think 20 at the most. And he can do what he can do or do what he normally does or give it a little less. Because our bench is we still got a good bench. We still got a good defensive core of players too. It's really just Dame, and quite honestly, I don't expect him just to be on the Harden side of the game, just letting people blow right past him. So I do expect a certain level of defense, but kind of like I said, I don't know when you start having players like Steph Curry day in and day well not day in and day out because you ain't gonna play them that much, but the elite point guards, they're gonna get their money.
And they're all on the West.
Yeah, right.
We don't really have to play against anybody but um, who would it be? Really, on the East would be, well, Derek White. He's come up. And then Bronson. That's really
Brunson
it.
and the kid from Philly, Maxi.
But he's not a point, is he?
Yeah, who's Philip? Who will be Philadelphia's point guard?
It was uh, it was Harden. And now they
Who's that
got Patrick
Maxi kid?
Beverly.
Oh yeah, yeah. But no, okay.
And
I
the only,
thought Maxi was their point. You're probably
I
right.
think the only guard tandem that we would probably have a little problem with would be Cleveland's.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
You Donovan
You
Mitchell and what's the other guy's name? Darius Garland.
Garland. Yep. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, yeah, Boston don't have who's Boston's point guard?
Derek White.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Derek White's solid.
He is. So
He
they got
ain't
Derek
great.
White and Malcolm Brogdon. But here's the question. They're pursuing Drew Holiday.
Drew, yeah, yeah, because they already want to get rid of Brogdon. Or Brogdon, I think Brogdon wants to leave. So,
Here, here's something that I thought of. Because initially I heard that Portland was going to buy out Holiday. And I'm like, shit, we should try to get him back.
now we can't though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to trade him. They want assets.
Oh, and yeah, why would you get rid of that?
Right.
I mean, I get
I
they
see
trying to
him either
rebuild, but
there or Miami. And if he goes to either of those two places, we got a problem.
see, you know where I'm thinking? I'm thinking maybe Philly.
Where he started.
Philly's after them too. Yeah,
He started there.
yeah. I know they're pursuing them too, and I know they want to get rid of Harden,
Yeah.
and that would pretty much be player for player. I mean, I just don't know if Harden. It would have to be a three-way team because Harden. There's no way Harden's going to Portland.
No. And where would you play him? I mean, you're getting rid of Dame because you need Scoot Henderson to start.
Right. So yeah, I don't.
So,
Yeah.
and Harden would be a downfall of trying to develop those young guys.
Oh, he would. Dude is probably a cancer to them
Yeah.
kids. Yeah. I don't even know. I, honestly, if I'm a team, I don't even know. If I'm an owner, I don't want him because
Yeah.
I'm like he's not gonna stay, and he's gonna probably demand something crazy, and I'm gonna have to ship him right out of there. And he doesn't produce wins.
I don't see a situation for Harden besides where he's at.
Yeah, and but it's just funny. He's already burned that bridge though. I mean, unless I don't know, unless him and the owner kiss and make up, I don't see it happening. He's going to probably be a journeyman,
Yeah.
which is weird. A high talented journeyman. That's crazy.
So let me ask you, with the pickup of Dame, do you think that puts us over the edge and not just the Eastern, but as far as the favorites of the league?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that you still Boston is still really deep. They got a lot of bigs that I feel like can give us some problems, but it'll be a good battle. I do think that, and we still got to end of the day see where Drew goes because that may change the dynamic of an entire squad if you add him to that team. So I don't know yet. It's kind of to be determined because, but right now, not factoring Drew, yeah, I would say us or Boston would is definitely the favorite out the East. But overall, Denver's still a solid squad. But
Yeah,
we would have beaten Denver if we had with Dame because he would have filled in. I think that personally think that even during the Miami series, he would have filled in for Giannis and gave us the scoring that we need. And
yeah.
Middleton or Drew couldn't do that, and that was what's really hurting us. If we need instant offense, we didn't have that when we had Drew. Unfortunately, you know.
And we have to see. I think one of my biggest complaints with the Bucks over the last few years was coaching. Hopefully, Griffin comes in and does more pick and rolls, have Giannis dive to the basket. I mean, because it was too predictable. Giannis gets the ball, Giannis dribbles down the court, Giannis goes to the hole. You know,
Right.
I think he's too good of a passer to have him just doing that. And now with all the legit shooting between Middleton, Connington, Portis, and now Dame that can hit from anywhere, it's going to
Yeah.
make the game a lot easier for Giannis.
And we don't need him shooting jumpers.
No,
We won't need
no,
him. But that's what's the beauty of, him working with Dream. Dream. I mean, if he should, I feel like with him working with Dream, he should go up a notch. I'm not saying he's
yeah,
going to score more or anything like that, but his offensive skill set should improve. It
yeah.
no doubt should improve.
A lot more back to the basket post up game.
I would hope because he has no post up game.
No, I did like how he implemented that little mid range hook floater
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yep.
That
I
was
know
good.
exactly what you're talking about. I like that.
Yeah,
I like his mid range. He had a good mid range game. Period. But I mean, and I like him shooting threes sometimes, just not getting crazy with it. If they leaving
right.
you wide open, you can take a couple, but they don't probably keep leaving you wide open.
Two or three a game, I'm fine with.
Right. No, I'm good with a few here, a few there. Yeah, just relax, buddy. So,
And to me, I would want them shooting 2 to 3 just to keep the defense honest. You're not
right,
going
and
to
you see you
sag
hot, you
off.
hot, and you have hot moments,
Yeah,
but I think that we'll probably see more 2 for 5, or not even
yeah.
2 for 5, 2 for 6. 1 for 4. Those type of. I mean, but I don't expect dude to be doing everything, but we'll see. But sadly, we had the Packers pull a dun 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 dun. Um, but the one thing that I did like out of it, I did like I see I see greatness in Jordy Love. Um,
Yeah,
And I just personally think that there's times where he has some overthrown thrown balls where I'm like, oh, when if that's Aaron, Aaron Rodgers, he would have got it right there. But I think in the making, he should be a solid quarterback.
Yeah, I didn't catch this game. I kind of figured that Detroit would take it to him. Uh, but yeah, I see a lot of good potential in Love. So, I mean, it's his first season starting, so I could see them maybe being like a 500 team, maybe wild card or something like that. And then next year getting a lot better, especially with Jones out. Because did Jones play tonight?
He played.
Oh,
He played. It was just they didn't. He was kind of splitting carries with
Dylan.
yeah, with Corey, and Corey wasn't working out. It wasn't working out at
Oh,
all. Yeah, uh, but I mean, I thought offensively, I stopped watching a portion of it because it was started getting a little dark. You know what I'm saying? I think we was down 24-zip, and it was just like, good lord. But they tried to come back. I mean, they showed a lot of heart.
So what was the
It's the
final score? When you sent the text and I went and looked at the score, it was 24-3.
It ended up being 17-34, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the I think that was the final score. It just wasn't. Oh no! I'm sorry, 20-34.
Okay.
I mean,
Like,
at least we started losing respectfully. But
showed
Montgomery
some
snapped.
offensive, showed
Montgomery
some
had three
offense.
touchdowns, dropped 120 yards, three touchdowns. He snapped. Um, Goff, he had an okay night. I mean, he didn't do anything special, but again, we couldn't stop the run. Goff had 210 yards, but he threw for 19 to 28. I mean, it's nothing special. But Love had threw for 246, touchdown, two interceptions.
Oh wow.
Aaron Jones only got 18 yards for five carries. Dylan only got five carries for 11 yards. And they let Jordy Love throw for 36 times. I don't know why they abandoned the run. It made no sense.
Oh wow.
Dobbs had 100 yards. He had 95. Dobbs had 95 yards. But they didn't throw. They had one touchdown from Watson,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah, they'll get it together. They're young.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But last thing I want to talk about was Dion and his L. I mean, I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago, and we kind of knew this was coming. I didn't think it was going to happen like that. I mean, I thought that he may lose, but I didn't know if it was going to be a complete beatdown the way they took it, the way they got it. And they got USC next, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, what do you think is going to happen with USC?
Your mic broke up a little bit.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
So, what do you think is going to happen with USC?
I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
it's
wait.
going to be a blowout.
So do you think because I've been hearing a lot of coaches, they've been talking slick about to Dion. Now, do you think it's because he put a target on his back?
Yeah, definitely. Um, if you look at, and I think we spoke about this a couple other times as far as what Dion brings to the table. but at the same time, he's making the players take on his personality, and that's a problem, especially Shador.
Yeah. Right.
I think
Yeah.
Shador has been a little too, I don't know, I don't want to say over the top, but I think he needs to quiet down a little bit and let his game speak. Let 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 Dion do all of that. That's Dion's personality.
Yeah. I mean, watching the game, I thought the biggest issue that Sanders had was he was just camping in the pocket. I mean, I didn't. He didn't scramble much at all. I was really surprised, and I kind of feel like he was a little shell shocked because I think that he went up against a different squad, different kind of speed, different kind of strength, and I think that he wasn't ready for it. Because
No, because
you don't even see that in
now you're on
HBCU,
the big stage. You're
right?
playing against the big boys,
No, and then USC gonna be next,
and now you're playing against a Heisman candidate.
right?
And Caleb Williams, I think he has 18. Is it 18 touchdowns, no turnovers? I mean, he's on a whole different level.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be exposure time for them come
Yeah,
Saturday. I mean, it's what it is. This is a squad that he just put together, and
yeah,
probably one that's not his true vision of what would be his squad. I think he got a bunch of people and kind of threw them there, and trying to make something happen. So I think it's still a huge upside for dude, but I think that it is a problem with him just, and he came in jacking, and I think people were like, okay, because
yeah,
I don't think that, I don't know, people. I think people made it racial,
yeah,
and I mean the fans, and I mean it on both ends. I think white dudes took it personal because they seen him shining, and they made it racial, and I think black people kind of reacted to how people are reacting to him, and they're going to immediately say that it's racial. So
yeah,
it turned racial. But if I'm being honest, no one likes a show off, and you
yeah.
start coming in there talking about you gonna do this, this, and that. Yeah, I'm trying to prove you wrong now. That's me as a competitor,
Right,
And then when I beat you, I'm gonna talk a little slick. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's what I mean. That's what I would do. That's what you do. As a competitor. So I don't know.
But
It
that's what
can.
I was saying. That's what I was telling you guys. Even as far as the like when Shador, every before every game he get into it with opposing players.
Right.
You know, um, you're mad at them for walking across your logo, but then when during the Oregon game, you guys are stomping on the O.
What yeah, you just getting these dudes amped. That is hilarious. They already bigger than y'all. I know y'all see
Right.
it. Oh, but
So it's going to
it,
be interesting, but I definitely see them losing big. I think it'll be they'll fight a little harder because I think Dion ain't having it,
yeah.
but they still gonna. I mean, USC is even on a different level than Oregon is.
I think that honestly, I think he knows. He it's a bigger picture. I think he see the forest through the trees. I think he knows that this year you just try to hype it up, and I mean I think he's trying to bring the team exposure, make as much money
Yeah,
for the organization that he can. He's doing what he should do, but like you said, at what cost?
yeah. And when do you kind of? I understand you want to let them. You want to create an environment where people want to play, but at, at what point do you tell them like, listen, y'all do less of this and let me do that? You
Right.
guys worry about on the field.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's where he's going to struggle at. And then another thing that I've been kind of wondering, and I don't know what your view of this is, after his sons leave, do you think he's going to stay?
Um, it all depends on. I don't know what his bigger picture is. If he wants to be an NFL coach and they make him an offer, then no. However, I think being that he's once been an NFL player, he probably would. He has more control in college. Is my thoughts.
Yeah,
But it's different now. I think that the whole NIL money makes everything a little different now.
yeah,
Because these kids is coming in making money now. So it's kind of hard to. I don't know how their attitudes are going to be, and it may be harder to motivate. I mean, how do you motivate a kid that just got $1 million that ain't never have nothing?
yeah. Just going looking back on Dion and since he's retired from the NFL, I kind of think that he'll stay in the college coaching because he likes working. He likes molding men.
Yeah,
Like he's done high school, youth football. I don't see him wanting to go to the NFL.
yeah. No, like I said, no, I agree because I think he's been there. He knows what it's about, and I
Yeah,
think he knows the good and bad. So that means that he knows the bad. You know.
right. The behind the scenes bad.
Right, right. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's easy to be a professional coach on any level because
Hmm.
I think once if the player has a good relationship with the owner, I don't gotta listen to you. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like
right.
that's what makes it tough. And that
And
doesn't
we've
happen
seen
in
that
that doesn't happen in
before.
college. Right. And that doesn't happen
Yeah,
in college. There's no
yeah,
middleman like that. So yeah, it can be. I don't know. He may not want to. He may, like you said, I don't think he wants to coach NFL. But will he stay? Like you said, he may want to go if he starts getting like a Big Ten team that's looking at him, or maybe it's a division, a more competitive division that makes him an
yeah,
offer. He may want to. He may want to leave and do that.
yeah. If he left there, the only place I would want him to go, um, would be Miami.
Huh?
Florida State passed on him, so I would want him to go to Miami just to kind of stick it to
Yeah,
Florida.
that would be a lot of. That would be good exposure. People will like that rivalry
Yeah,
whenever they play
either
Florida State.
Miami or Florida. I would want him to go to either one of those to kind of give Florida State a headache.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That
Because
would be
they didn't
interesting.
even want to give him his degree for coaching, and he's a alumni.
What do they have against Dion?
They didn't want to give it to him. He had to go to a HCBU to get it. They wouldn't give it to him.
Wow.
Yeah, so they wouldn't give him that, and they didn't offer him the job. You know, at his alma mater. So yeah, if he would go back to Florida and coach for either the Gators or the Hurricanes, I would like to see that.
That would be interesting because the
Yeah,
rivalry. People would
yeah.
pay to watch that.
Oh yeah,
They definitely pay
yeah.
to watch that. Oh, one last topic before we bounce out. What's your Canelo Charlo predictions for this Saturday?
I'm going Canelo. The reason why I'm going with Canelo, first of all, I don't like either of the Charlos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's been too much going on inside their camp ever since the Spence fight. because Spence fired Derek James.
Yeah,
So
I
I don't
saw
know
that.
if Charlo kept him. You know, so there's just been too much going on in that camp. So I'm gonna go with Canelo. What about you?
I'm going with Canelo for the simple fact that Am from Am's Logic, check him out. He loves the Charlo. So for one, that makes me not want to root for Charlo
Right.
because Am like him so much. Um, but he's been off for I think 18 months, and you moving up in weight. Like it just doesn't. It don't add up for a good recipe for a victory. I think
Yeah.
that he's gonna get winded. I don't even. He didn't even take a tune-up fight before this fight. But the thing is, and I could be wrong, but I feel like Alvarez is gonna off give you the biggest check. So
Yeah.
people gonna jump on that. I'm not sure if another maybe Tank. Tank may be somebody who fighting him will get you a big check. So I don't think that he wanted to pass up on that money. I think that
Right.
he'd risk a L for the check, which I don't know if that's good or bad.
We will see Saturday. You might have to edit this part out about Am if Charlo wins.
Hell no.
You ain't never gonna hear the end of it.
Yeah, I'm remixing it. If Charlo, oh, you said if Charlo wins,
Right.
yeah, you're right. I may have to edit this. You're right. Nah, I had to take my L. But I
Hey, if
will
we've
see.
been taking L's on our predictions,
Oh, I
you
meant to
you
tell
earned
you.
one.
I meant to tell you. I had a horrible, horrible night. Am did amazing. Am was 12-5. Um, you were, I want to say, either 10-7 or 9-8, and
I'll take 10 and 7.
I think I was 8-9 or something. I had a
It sounds
bad, I had a bad. No, it don't sound whatever. I had a,
it
I
sounds
had some,
good.
I had some solid weeks. I should have
Well,
went for
you guys
Dallas.
did you guys already do the predictions for this Sunday?
Yeah, we did them quick. We did them quick.
I'll text you my predictions just so they on record, and we'll
Okay,
see
well,
how it
yeah, yeah,
goes.
yeah. But who would you have picked? You can't even say that you're excluded from Detroit and Green Bay, of course.
Who would I have picked?
But who's,
I probably would have picked Detroit.
I was picking the Packers because Aaron Jones and was starting and Watson was starting. I thought that was going to be enough.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Detroit. They got weapons everywhere.
But Love, this is the second game in a row where he started off real slow.
Yeah,
He ended up playing decent. I think he scored a touchdown and he rushed for one. However, it just wasn't. It came too late. First half, they started off way too slow. Offense couldn't connect. It was bad. It was bad. But yeah, we'll see. Um, we will link up again after the fight
okay.
and definitely talk about that. So yeah, we'll definitely get up soon.
All right, brother. I'll have
Walk,
those
follow, subscribe.
predictions in to you tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll talk about them. All right, brother.
All right, man. Love.
Later. Love you, brother.
Yeah, you too, bro.